Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. I did catch some of you on Instagram today morning before I started recording because of all the news around Spandana. What is the news about Spandana? That's a good question because there is no news. Other than the stock price going through the roof, I don't have anything else to share with you. In the last 1 week, it's up 35-38%. Is there a reason for this? I don't know. But the volume of trade is huge. It is not like one or two shares being changed from one hand to another. The volumes are huge. What is causing this to happen in Spandana is very hard to speculate. Maybe there's a few big players who are buying in and a lot of retailers are seeing this price spiking and everyone's having FOMO and rushing towards it. Maybe it could be, I don't know. But what am I doing with this? I am sitting and watching. Especially when I can't explain for a reason for a price change, then there's no reason for me to invest. Like I've said before, 1,150,000 times, we buy when we understand a business, when we understand it's in value, and we can understand what is happening in the market with this company. In this case, I understand their business, right? It is using the metrics which we use, price to book, according to analyzing financial companies. It has been at value for some time. But the problem is the sudden change in music, in the fortunes of not only Spandana, in microfinance sector, few companies has suddenly been sparked interest by some people and it's swinging, the price is moving forward. And how far will it move? That's speculation. And I don't like speculation. So, and can it correct? Of course it can correct. When you don't know the reason why it's gone up, then it's very hard to say it will not go down. So, my advice would be don't have FOMO. Even I suffer from FOMO. Even I also look at it and think, if I had bought it at 290, today I'll be up at almost 100% up. I understand that. Okay. This is the main reason I say when you log on to the morning in the market, buy, keep your list in hand, you see the value in it. Like I was looking at Tata Motors today. Look at those few things. Sip, stay in your tiffin coffee range, as you say, TCR, and keep moving forward. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And it is very easy to get swayed by all this market news. And the reason why we get swayed is because we feel that we're missing out on something. You're not. Your whole life is ahead of you. Your whole day is ahead of you. You have work to do. You have friends to meet. And you have things to see and things to read. And enjoy your life, right? Invest for a few minutes in the morning or whenever your time is. Buy that and close shop and move forward. If you get swayed by this, then what will happen is you can get yourself caught in a trap where you do not know what is happening. And then you go drop a lot of currency in the market. And then you will have very sleepless nights after that. This has happened to someone in our group itself who went, I told you in a previous video, who went and spoke, didn't realize that ITC was being, price discovery was being done there and he thought it was a huge correction happening and he went and moved and took a huge position in it. And I explained in the last video what he can do as an option depending on if he needs the money or not. The same can happen with Spandana also. Yes, it may go from here 400 to 500, might go to 600. Or it may go back to 200. But I rather keep investing when I can understand price movement and the variations are at a level I can deal with. So this is the main thing which I want to get. There's nothing wrong in it. If you have Spandana in your portfolio, I'm not asking you to get rid of it. I'm not saying this is a red flag, waving, screaming and shouting. I'm not saying anything regarding the company. Like I said, company, I understand the business. It's a good company. The whole sector seems to be in pain. That's why it's suffering. All that I've already explained and understood. So I'm not asking you to immediately throw the share out. But if you've, let's say, bought it at 600 and you're having tremendous anxiety, when you saw it go to 290 or whatever, 300, and you are having tremendous anxiety, even if it was a very small amount, you're making you feel anxious and you felt really bad about it, then maybe you should consider checking out if it reached a point where you're not making a loss anymore. If you bought it at 600, like some of my friends have bought here behind the camera, okay, and they're like in a lot of pain. I told them if it comes back to 600 and you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. But the problem is the human mind is in such that, and the tendency is when it reaches 600, you'll think, okay, that's it. The bad days are behind it. From here, it might go back to 1,200. It may not. Because in the long term, yes, it will. Because in the long term, Indians need finance. Especially the poorer parts of society need microfinance. So that sector will slowly heal. The wounds will heal, it will reinvigorate, and businesses will start making money. And in the promoters behind Spandana or like Fusion, like Anand has spoken in other videos, are reliable, and they themselves have a lot of skin in the game, so we have something to look forward to. Maybe that can be something solace to hold on to. If you're looking at it in the long term, then yeah, don't worry about it. But if you're looking at it in the short term, things can be volatile. It can be very unpredictable. And there are no guarantees in the market. The market doesn't owe you anything, right? It doesn't owe me anything. And to claim that, I know better than this, I know better than that, it's not my style. Like I was talking in Instagram in the morning saying, hashtag I'm not a guru. I know a lot of you, I seem to be a focal point where because of me, we all get together, a group of us are getting together and we're having discussions. I'm happy to enable that we get together, we talk about investing, we share ideas, we share ways to motivate each other. All that I like. But I don't want to reach this persona of, influencer or God complex where, I'm here telling you what to do. That is not me, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm as much as a learner as you, and I'm very cautious, and I like taking slow steps. And that's where I am. So that is what I would like to tell you regarding the whole microfinance sector as a whole, especially when it comes to Spandana and Fusion and all this. Because a lot of you have been asking me repeatedly about this. Should I do? What should I do? What should I do? End of the day, I leave it up to you. If you have the risk tolerance to do it, then do what you think is right, as my father would say. I'm sticking to the list, what I've been talking about for a long time. That's why I've been very open saying that I've been. And I do hope you've been writing it down and journaling this. Because I've got myself a book and I write every day in it. I spend time writing what I did today. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Now I have to write day 5 and what all I bought today into it. And I write what I thought about it when I was buying. Why did I buy it? So I can come back and reflect on it to understand my whole investment mindset better. So I hope you are keeping track of it. And if you are going to track something, I would suggest that you track your spending. That is the main thing which I wanted to get to you guys to talk about today before Spandana came and blindsided me. The idea being that a lot of us spend time looking at our portfolio, refreshing it, seeing the stock price. So, when it comes to anything, you must understand first where you want to go, right? And I always use weight loss and gymming and exercising and dieting as a great point of reference because that's something I know about because I've been doing it for a long time and I've had some success. Sometimes I've failed and I've understood that. So I use that as an example. And the other reason I use dieting exercise as an example is it's something for anyone can relate to it. More than finance and numbers, it will help you understand why investing you need to have this mindset. In weight loss and muscle gaining and exercising, more than focusing on exercise and tracking your workout, what you should be tracking, I've learned and realized, is your food habits. Because 80% of weight loss or weight gain is on diet. The more focused you are on your food and you're tracking your food, you're better off than tracking your workouts. Lots of us wear smartwatches and see, 30 minutes, my heart rate and all that. That is great. Regardless of you tracking this, your heart rate will spike, because of tracking it is not going to make any difference to your workout or your calorie burn. If you're doing 30 minutes of cardio, you're going to burn. But what you should be tracking and writing down more, which most people fail to do when they're trying to do on fitness journey, is writing down what they eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Because that's where the calorie going in is where the problem is. So if you realize, like how in weight loss and fitness journey, what you eat is very important. In investing, what is more important is tracking what you're spending. Where your money is going out in your cash flow is very important, which is where a lot of us fail to do. We all fixate on tracking where we're investing that little bit of tiffin coffee and checking on that on a daily basis to see how much it's gone up and how much it's gone down. But none of us, at least most of us, I shouldn't be putting a broad brush like that, saying most of us don't bother, and that is a habit which I'm trying to cultivate for myself. Even you use apps like GPay to pay and you're using credit cards, try and track it. You get SMSs. End of the day, sit down, go through your SMSs and write down what you spent your money on or where you spent it. So at least you know. You don't have to share this with anybody. It's not some public information you need to put out somewhere. So at least you know where your money is going. So you know what is taking resources away from your tiffin coffee range investment. Why some of you, like some of the people behind me, are not able to even my own team are unable to make any investments today or yesterday, or some of them have not even done anything for this year. They say, sir, we don't have any money. My account is empty. I find that very strange, that even a South Indian bank cannot be done. But anyway, this is what I want you to work on going forward. Not only investing, But if you want to be tracking, please track your expenses and share that. What are you struggling with when it comes to sharing your expenses? What have you found? What new insights have you found? And I promise, as I track my expenses, I will also share insight into what I have found and what I have understood and how I am trying to cut down my expenses so that I may have more tiffin coffee in the market. But as I was recording this, Rupesh had sent me another article which has come in Mint today about Spandana. And there also, it's very nicely put. Those of you who want to read the article, I'm sure Rupesh will put a link on it. It talks about how it's nearly jumped 40% in 2 days, and they themselves are perplexed. The analysts, the investors, the advisors, they're also wondering what is causing this sudden burst of energy and momentum behind this stock. And a lot of them are advising that it's better to wait and watch, that it has moved from 300 odd levels up to 463 in 3 sessions. And there's a bullish momentum, which I don't believe in these momentum nonsense, because if you could see such momentums, you could have said this 4 days ago, that this momentum is coming. So this kind of momentum and all this, I don't know. This is just lingo and jargon for nice ways to explain things you don't know. Like we have things like that in astrology also, where we look at planets and we blame planets and some celestial beings for your misfortunes and poor decisions. So a lot of people are saying it may even peak 2240 before it enters another prolonged downward trend. I do not know these things. I advise you to read the article, those of you who are really interested about Spandana. But the general gist of the article, what they're saying is, they're telling the best advice is to wait and watch. So I like that advice. There are people who are saying other things too, but most of them are saying wait and watch because they cannot really understand what is causing this momentum. They're saying last year, January, there was such a momentum for the stock, where the stock price, if you see, and that is not the way I look at the market and try to read the market. I don't pull out charts and see the historic price, how it's been moving and historic price. So if the market went up in January, it will go up again in January. If I say things like that, you will think I'm crazy. So I would agree with you too if I said things like that. So I would not bet on such momentums or whatever that is called. So wait and watch as far as Spandana is concerned. Meanwhile, track your expenses. Let's see, this month of January, Pongal is coming next week. I'm sure a lot of you will be enjoying Pongal and be splurging in Pongal. Try and curtail that, and remember, everything which you decide to discount in Pongal is additional money which can go towards investing in tiffin coffee ranges as the year progresses. So you will not be suddenly jammed up and having no money to invest on a day. Because I do find it very hard to believe that even 20 rupees, 30 rupees, some of my boys and girls are finding very hard to put into the market. I understand if they don't have a job, they're unemployed, I understand that, but they're not unemployed. They're very much employed here with me, and they do make a tidy package. So 20 rupees, 30 rupees here and there can be invested on a daily basis is what I feel. If my opinion is wrong, please catch me on Instagram and share me your thoughts. I would love to hear why I'm wrong, and maybe we can have a discussion on that. Thanks for watching the video as always. Do be safe out there. Take care, and I'll see you again in another one soon.
Hey guys, that my uncles Vinod Srinivasan, Anand Srinivasan and I have rolled out our Substack, which is basically a blog/newsletter where we're going to post our original research onto it, and we've analyzed macroeconomic trends. And a lot of you know my uncle Anand Srinivasan and I regularly write for The Hindu, and these articles are also going to be made available for you in the Substack. The link is moatinvesting.substack.com. You'll find it in the description and in the video right now. We hope you go check it out. We've put a lot of time and effort into it. And please give us comments and feedback on what you read. Thank you.